to the Floridaville Express. This show is hosted and produced by the team at Rocket Ship Consultants and is based on our popular podcast, The Floridaville. The Floridaville Express is a condensed show, and each week we highlight people who are making an impact in or around Florida. I'm Rosanna Catalano, an attorney with a background in television and radio news, and I founded Rocket Ship Consultants, a strategic communications firm, and our mission is to launch your business or organization to the next level.
Hi, and I'm Nathan Moon. I'm an attorney, author, and the content director for Rocket Ship Consultants.
Our guest tonight is Brenden Kumarasamy, who is the founder of MasterTalk, a YouTube channel he started to help the world master the art of public speaking and communication.
Welcome to the show, Brenden.
It's great to be here, you too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, why don't we get things started by learning about your background and how you came up with the idea for MasterTalk?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was in university, I used to do these things called case competitions. Think of it like professional sports, but for nerds. So while other guys my age are playing football or rugby or something else that's extremely dangerous, I instead applied that same competitive spirit, but to presentations. And that's what I did for many years. And what happened is as I got a corporate job after I exited university, I accidentally got really good at communication coaching because I was coaching a lot of those students on how to speak better. And then after a few years, once I exited corporate and when I finished university, I realized that a lot of the content online that's available for free on communication is really bad. You hear advice like, oh, you should be yourself and you should imagine everyone in their underwear. And I just said, who came up with this stuff? So I started MasterTalk in my mother's basement. One thing led to another, and here we are today.
So, I see from your LinkedIn profile that you recently left your position as a business transformation consultant with IBM. Tell us about your decision to leave and what's next for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, the overarching principle I'd love to share with the audience is your most valuable asset is your time. We don't know how long we're going to live. And then based on that idea of time, we have to ask ourselves, how do we want to optimize it in a way that maximizes our potential in the world? And for me, I got really lucky in many ways where I found what my gift was at a very young age. I started coaching communication when I was 19, and then I started coaching CEOs of companies when I was around 22 or 23. So I was able to find my gift really early, and I was able to monetize that gift really rapidly as well. So because of that, I got to a point in my corporate career where the business that I was building on the side ended up equaling what I was making. Of course, I wasn't making that much money. I was an entry-level employee, right? Because I was still very early. So that's what led to the decision, and also to spend a lot more time on my bigger vision, which to create resources for the world.
That's so true. Time is the only commodity any of us have. So when you went into business for yourself, is there something that you wish you knew before getting into that?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I would say the biggest principle that a lot of us have missed because of social media and all those things is if you want 1,000 customers, have 1,000 conversations. A lot of us are trying to optimize posts. A lot of us are trying to throw the right Facebook ad or the right YouTube channel, guilty as charged, and all the different types of content. But at the end of the day, if there's 10 people that really trust what you do and love what you do, they'll just share what you do with 10 other people who absolutely need what you're working on. I built all of my business on word of mouth. It was just one person who was just really loved my service, and they said, hey, let me tell somebody else. Let me tell somebody else. And I feel a lot of us, especially business coaches, they overcomplicate this so much. They go, oh, you got to spend money on Facebook ads, and then you got to jump up and down and do 3 somersaults. And I go, wait a second. Have you had dinner with the 10 customers you're currently serving? Have you had real 3-hour dinners with them just to get to know them? And their answer is always no. Same thing with podcasting. There's so many people I ask. I go, okay, how many people are listening to your show? They go, 35. How many of those 35 people do you know? 3. Don't you think there's a problem? Shouldn't you know the other 32 people? So yeah, I rest my case.
Those personal connections. I know, Ro, that's definitely speaking to you.
It does. It does. He's speaking my language. Nathan and I met years ago coaching actually law students on their careers. So we would always say you can network or not work is how we used to phrase it. So we are feeling what you are saying here tonight. Well, let's take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we want to hear a little bit more about you. At Rocket Ship Consultants, our mission is to take your organization to the next level. Our team develops strategic communication plans that help entrepreneurs, corporations, associations, and individuals reach new heights. Our consulting team is made up of attorneys with additional experience in journalism, public relations, politics, broadcasting, and advocacy. Let us help you take that dream you have for a podcast or video show and make it into a reality. We can create networking opportunities, educational forums, and interactive conferences to spread your message. Let our team provide you with fresh ideas and inspiration. Rocket Ship Consultants offers a variety of services, so check out our website at rocketshipconsultants.com. Take off with Rocket Ship Consultants and launch your organization with us. Welcome back. Our guest tonight is Brenden Kumarasamy, who is an expert public speaker and facilitator. He founded the YouTube channel MasterTalk.
So Brenden, can you provide our audience members with a few tips for their public speaking situations? Maybe a few things like making a pitch to an investor, giving a proposal to a potential client, and for no particular reason, hosting a video show.
Absolutely. So there's definitely a couple of things, and we can spend a whole day talking about them, but I'll give 2 to 3 tricks that people can implement right away.
Perfect.
Number 1 is called the question drill. And this is going to be especially useful if you have a pitch ready that you want to present to a board of investors, or you want to prepare a pitch for some sort of purpose that's business related or that raises funds. The question drill is very simple. Make the presentation and present it in front of the biggest critics in your life. People are extremely pessimistic, negative, or just people who aren't afraid to break it, and have them just poke holes in the presentation. And this goes on, in the way I do it anyways, for 2 to 3 hours. Hey, Nathan, just think of this. What about your cash flow statement? What about this? And they just grill you while they're eating pizza or something for 2 to 3 hours. And then the magic of the question drill, I want people to pay attention to this, if you do it right, is you have an appendix section in your slide deck where every slide is an answer to each question. So that when you go to the actual pitch, let's say I'm pitching services to you two, and Ro goes up to me and says, who are some of your competitors and how much do they price their services at? Let's say you ask that. Perfect. Thanks for the question, Rose. Could you go to slide 64, please? And then it just goes to the slide. So just based on the cost analysis that we did here, and then you're just looking at me like, oh, geez. Okay. We got to take this person seriously.
This guy is prepared. I love it.
Right. So, and the point that I always like to drive with my advice, even if you just do 1% of what I say, you'll get most of the result. So for you, that might look like spending an extra 15 minutes or just simply sending the slides to 10 friends that you trust and just say, could you come up with 5 questions you would ask me just by looking at the slides? Or it's recording yourself present on a phone or something simple. Send it to those 10 people. What's 5 questions you would ask me? Make a list of those 50 questions and just reflect on them while you're drinking a smoothie or something. Super simple. Okay. Question drills is one. Second one that I'm happy to demonstrate now is called the random word exercise. And I always like saying this to business owners or people in corporate. You are not going to master public speaking in the boardroom. It's not going to happen. I'll explain why. Every presentation you do is stressful. It's on tight deadlines, and you're always changing those presentations. So we take law as an example, because all of you are attorneys or ex-attorneys. You're doing a proposal for a client, and then the second it's done, your partner calls you and goes, hey, I need another proposal for a different client in a completely different industry for Friday. And you're just like, okay. And then you switch, and then on Friday, this keeps going. So you're not really focused on delivering that presentation exceptionally well. You're just trying to survive all the time, pretty much. So how do you fix this? You fix this by doing what I call the random word exercise. It's a starting point. What you do is you pick 5 random words, super simple: mattress, box, doorknob, and you make random presentations for a minute each. And what this does is it builds up your resilience as a speaker, where when you go back into law, into any other field, you go, oh, wait a second, I have a lot of expertise in this field. And those presentations you once were concerned about, you once feared, will suddenly become a joke.
I love that. I love that. We have something similar in news when I worked in television news, where when you prepare for live shots, one of the ways you could do it is by describing when you're driving in the car. Just describe everything you see in the car and get used to being able to say and describe things right off the cuff. So I love the idea of just doing a presentation off the cuff on the door to your office. What you see, what is it? How does it swing open? All of those things to come up with, a minute or two of content. I think that's genius. I love it.
And do you know Mike Rowe, he's that television show Dirty Jobs? He used to do sales on some of the television sales programs. And how he got that job was they came in and the whole interview was they handed him a pencil and said, sell me this pencil for the next 15 minutes. And so he just went on and talked about that and all the things about it, the wood, the coloring, how it felt, just random things about a pencil. And it's the random, in this case, object, but was able to roll with that. And he just has that great presentation style. That's a really interesting tip.
I love that.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
The best way is definitely the YouTube channel. All you got to do is type MasterTalk in one word, and you'll find all of my free content, all of my free videos. And then from there, there's a bunch of contact information if you want to contact me directly.
Well, thank you, Brenden, so much for joining us tonight. That wraps up tonight's episode of the Floridaville Express. Be sure to tune in Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern to catch our show live. And remember, you can watch previous episodes of the Floridaville Express on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and on Facebook. Thank you so much, Brenden.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Brenden. And for those of you watching, if you've been wanting to create a video show or a podcast like this one, we can help you with that. Our company, Rocket Ship Consultants, can strategize with you and help you launch your multimedia shows and events. Also, reach out to us if you're interested in sponsoring this show. Sponsorships create positive long-term brand awareness and keep your organization connected and relevant. We have a variety of sponsorship packages available at surprisingly affordable prices.
Thanks so much.